everybody, good evening. Welcome to CSz Portland to the Stand Up Showcase. I'm Patrick Short. I'm co-owner and GM here. For 30 years, we've been doing improv in this block, and now we're doing stand-up. That's kind of cool because we found a great teacher in Carl Wolfson. So, as you will see, we had a sold-out showcase on Friday, and it was great. Awesome. We had 8 people then. I think we have 9 tonight, so it's probably going to go for 6 or 7 hours. We do ask a couple of things. First of all, without saying exactly that this is a no heckling zone, I'm going to say that. This is a no heckling zone. These are students. These are not people who are paid to put up with crap. So we are here to support. Yes? Awesome. Thank you for your understanding on that. Also, it would be really cool if you didn't cut out right after your friend's set, because it's really fun for people to take the stage and watch people go out the door, right? And you'll probably miss some truly, truly astounding stuff. Staying all the way to the end Friday night surely paid off. Right, Keller? Oh. It did. Keller brought it home. Everybody was great Friday night. Everybody will be great tonight. Even if they're not great by professional standards. This is something, people. This is a step off of the cliff, and we are going to throw them their parachute, right? Awesome. Cool. Several other things. Beer, wine, cider. It's probably best to just get up and go over there quickly in between comics if you can. We'll be open until about the last 2 people when Marianne works at, what, 4 in the morning? So, yeah, so we got to let her go, and then we're going to close. We are streaming, by the way, onto the Zooms and then onto YouTube. By being here for this free admission, you are consenting to the use of your likeness for now and forever for our promotional purposes. Yes. Okay, cool. Thumbs up, right? There is a camera that will be periodically pointed at you. We will not be going to individual audience reaction shots like football on Fox, so don't worry about that. All right, Carl Wolfson's been doing the stand-up thing for over 40 years. He's appeared on The Tonight Show, on HBO, other places that he'll probably tell you about tonight because he likes telling you about that because it's interesting. And it explains a lot about where all this stuff comes from. He's also been a radio DJ here in Portland on KPOJ back in the Air America days and on KPAM. And of course, they all change formats eventually. That's the radio business. But he's a spectacularly wonderful person, and his heart is in the right place, and you will see that displayed tonight over and over and over. I would like to introduce, if you would, please welcome Carl Wolfson.
Hey, thank you, Patrick. I don't know for Patrick, everybody here at Comedy Sports, give them a round of applause for just making this all possible. Well, it's a real honor to be here tonight. How many of you here who know the performers or are family members of the performers, raise your hands? Actually applaud. That's a better thing to do at a comedy show. See, that's a different comedy show. The jokes, you just raise your hand if you like it. That'd be nice. This is my 43rd year of comedy, and it's older than a lot of you. That's for sure, but I'm very nostalgic about it now. I really am. I'm thinking about my career, and I was on Alan Thicke show, Thick of the Night, every week, and Alan passed away suddenly. I was on Joan Rivers every other week, and Joan passed away suddenly. I kind of wish I'd been on The Apprentice, but oh, it's a Portland crowd. Nice. Okay. I still do some stand-up comedy. I try not to fly a lot because, you know, I don't know. It's just, when I was doing most of this, there were more comfortable seats on the planes. Now you fly Spirit Airlines. Have you flown Spirit? It's like, oh my God, it's like you're a caged animal in there, you know? I took Spirit Airlines on the way back from Chicago, like the overhead bin popped open, 3 passengers fell out. It was unbelievable. That was my worst flight number ever. What was my flight number? It was the worst ever. 666. Thank you. We got another temperature of the crowd. Thank you very much. It's the devil crowd from Portland. Thank you. No, my flight number was 5050. Yeah, pilot comes on. Welcome aboard flight 5050. We got an even shotting off the runway today. Chicago's a really tough place to fly in and out of, especially in the winter. 86, I've been flying into Chicago to play Catch a Rising Star. Valentine's Day was a blizzard. Circled O'Hare for like 2 hours. Pilot came on, this is exactly what he said. He said, O'Hare's been shut, we've been diverted, we should have enough fuel to get to Minneapolis. Nuns are going, fuck. When you sit next to a nun who says fuck, it changes your whole attitude. I'll tell you that. The comics are worried about saying fuck, so I just broke the ice for them. Okay. You all right, sir, with that word? Fuck yeah, okay. We've reached the point early in the show where the audience is funnier than the comic. That's always a good point to reach. I don't do a lot of long road trips anywhere. I guess last year I had to go to Texas, which is, oh Jesus, anyone from Texas here? Good. This should work. I perform in Dallas and Houston, Austin. My Aunt Fern lives in Dallas. She's 95 years old. She's always complaining nobody ever calls her, so I got her one of those "How am I driving" bumper stickers. And the quicker you get these, the sooner we'll get out of here. That's the way this works tonight. She's got that damn Texas twang. You know what I'm talking about? Texas twang is the most irritating accent. Although Massachusetts is right up there. In Massachusetts, where the use of the letter R is prohibited by law, they do not need that letter. Especially when they're driving around in that car. Actually, years ago, I figured out what happens to the letter R they don't use in Massachusetts. Letter R goes up into the atmosphere, goes all across the country till it sees the state of Texas, then it falls down into the word "warsh." So now I don't fly very much, I drive. I was in Richland, Washington a few months ago. Oh boy, do I play the nice places, huh? Doing my dog and cat material in Richland. Lady in the backyard, she had a lab. I said, what kind? She said, meth. And okay, you guys ready for a great show tonight? Well, it's been my absolute pleasure to teach all of these students. Every one of them is wonderful, and you're going to see why tonight. Starting out with a guy I just love. Actually, he took the course in the fall, but he and his wife went to Australia to visit their daughter, so he wasn't here for the showcases in the fall. I absolutely love him. You're going to love him too. Please welcome Mark Friel. Bring him up. Mark, bring him up.
Wow. I hope you fuckers stand for me next time I see you at a barbecue. And anyways, I want to thank Lois Williams. Lois is a friend in the neighborhood, and she runs the Raleigh Hills senior citizen community. And she arranged a shuttle tonight to get a bunch of people down from Raleigh Hills because it's a Sunday night and they don't like to drive at night and it's kind of crazy. So Lois, thank you. I don't know if Lois is here, but it's really cool. And it's funny because the people at the senior center have nothing to do on a Sunday. I mean, it's like, are you going to watch 60 Minutes? Are you going to do online backgammon with your neighbor from like 2 feet away? Are you going to walk like TikTok videos that maybe someone I live with would watch? Matlock reruns? I mean, what are you going to do? And then let's face it, I have nothing better to do on a Sunday than be up here. So I appreciate everyone being here. It's awesome. Thanks for showing up. Comedy Sports, Patrick and Carl, great organization. I've done improv here and other stuff. But for those that don't know me, my name's Mark. And I am an empty nester with a dog problem. And I got to start out by saying I've got my son's 23, just graduated college, got a job, lives in California. Daughter's going to be 21 this week. There's not a greater passion in my life than my kids. I love them dearly. My wife's here. She's the best mother I've ever seen. And it's the coolest thing ever. But fucking A, it was 30 years of the most insane work and challenge and if you think of Shawshank Redemption and Andy Dufresne. So Andy Dufresne, at the end of the movie, he's escaping. He's been there 19 years and he's just slogging through the filth and the sewage and the rats. And then he gets there out in the opening, and it's raining, and he's just like, just victory, victory. And that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like being an empty nest. And like, you've done it, kids, you've done it. And it's really, it's like you're climbing Mount Everest. I mean, it's the most technical, the most difficult climb ever. And again, if I know some people maybe haven't had kids, don't have kids. You could just walk around the mountain and do something else. But it's like you climb Everest, and it's like, takes forever, hundreds of thousands of dollars, sleepless nights, and you wonder, am I doing a good job? Are we raising good people? You know, am I raising a monster? And you don't know. And every single day you wake up, you're like, I just don't know. So I'm at the top of Everest, and it's like, it is cool. And it's like, I made it. It's palpable. I'm proud. I'm happy. And I'm like, that's just Everest. And then I look around, and I'm like, fuck, this is exactly what my life was when I was 27. It's like everything was here. Like, why did I go through all of this shit? Because fuck. You know what it was like, Mark Friel, when he's 27? It was a good life. Let me tell you, it was a good life. I lived in Manhattan Beach, good. I had a job, I had a company car. I even worked from the home. I had to drive to Pomona once a week. In fact, it's funny, I'd get the first brick phone in the car, and I'd call my then girlfriend, and I'd talk to her for an hour, and then the bill would come, it'd be like $150. I'm like, oh. But that's how long ago, but I had an amazing, job. I had money in the bank, I could do whatever I want. And the best thing, I had a beautiful girl, a wonderful girl. And we did whatever we wanted, whenever. We traveled, we went out to restaurants. It was like the greatest life ever. And then, father-in-law's in the crowd, so I gotta think about this next time. I'm gonna go. I'm up here. I'm here. So thanks for being here. So anyways, and we had sex all the time. So that was the punchline. We ate out, we traveled, we had sex, and it was awesome all the time. And her friends, literally her girlfriends, nicknamed me Marco the Fuck Doll. Marco the Fuck Doll. And I will never live that down with my Raleigh Hills crew, ever. I don't care. I've been called a lot worse than that. And if that's the worst thing I've ever been called, good for me. So anyways, we're living a glorious life. Slowly over the years, we migrate to Oregon, because if you live in Southern California and it's sunny and wonderful every day, why wouldn't you want to move to Mordor? Oh, that sounds fun, let's go. So we're here, and we still have jobs, we have money, and we do whatever we want. It's great. And then one day, we get married. That's a random thing. And we're still Mr. and Mrs. Friel. Nothing really changes. Again, still jobs, everything. And then one day, she comes back. She's gone like 4 or 5 hours. I'm on the couch watching football, I don't know where she is. I don't know. And she comes back, and she's got a German Shepherd puppy. And I'm like, where did the dog come from? She's like, oh, we talked about it. I'm like, we didn't talk about it. I didn't talk about it either. And it's like the Charlie Brown teacher. She probably told me all about wah, 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 wah. I mean, I thought she was at Nordstrom's. And it's like, fuck, she comes home with a dog. That's like a material change. And she said the other night, she's like, well, you knew about it. Well, if I knew, why wouldn't I go? Wouldn't you want to go meet your new dog? Wouldn't you want to meet your new dog? I think you'd want to meet your dog, but I was watching football, and she went to Nordstrom's, and she came home with a dog. I just don't get it. And then I'm like, okay, it's a dog. How tough could a dog be? A dog, they eat dog food. They eat twice a day. They live in crates. They sleep. They're cuddly. They're happy to see you come home. They're sad when you leave. They're furry. It's like, how tough could a dog be? Dogs are tough. You gotta walk them. You gotta feed them. If they're a real dog and they're big in the Northwest, it's muddy and you're picking up poop, and it's tons of work. You gotta board them, the vets, it's crazy. And yet, you know what? All of a sudden, kids pop out. If you're gonna get a dog, and you think you're gonna getting a dog is basically an application to say, oh, I'd like to have kids. I'd like to give my life away. Just get a dog, and that's where you end up. Not that there's anything wrong with dogs or kids. So we we have the kids, and it turns out kids are 10,000 times tougher than a dog. Because kids eat all things all the time. Kids throw up shit that the FBI couldn't identify. I mean, there were stuff they, it's like they're crazy expensive. It's just, oh my God. And then you go to like soccer games. I had a buddy in the crowd. There's one person in here in my little circle that actually still has little people that live at home. He spent his whole day today. His whole day, he was gone from 7 in the morning and he got home at 7 at night in a sweaty gym watching girls play volleyball. I mean, that's horrible. And he probably went at 10 o'clock in between 7 games and had a beer at 7. Like, oh, I'm having a beer. And then, Doris and Carl are there having a beer too. You're like, oh, I'm not that bad of a person because they're having a beer too. Anyways, the kid, it's just, oh my God, it's so much work. And then, again, there's so much, like I always thought it would be cool if I could put my kids in a crate, like 2 and 4 years old, like just so I could have coffee with my wife, just so I could have like 2 seconds of insanity in the morning. Hey, just hop in the crate, we'll put a pillow and a chew toy. I mean, seriously, I never did it because I'm not inhumane, but dogs are so, they're so much easier than kids, and kids need clothes, and every after the kid gets every 37 days, they need new clothes. And it's like, well, how does that happen? And then the craziest thing, you get a 6-month-old kid that's got Air Jordans on. And I'm like, that little ankle biter's legs are never gonna touch the ground, actually walking. And mom bought shoes. Why did you buy shoes? And she always says, well, the socks are gonna fall. I'm like, what? Is that a huge problem? Like socks falling off little kids? Maybe it is, And you know what? Dogs don't wear clothes. You know why, Carl? You know why? Because they're dogs. That's why they don't wear clothes. Unless you're an 8-pound Chihuahua, whatever. And that is not a dog. You might as well be a cat. And Apollo Meyer is the one exception to that. So I love my Apollo, but otherwise, and again, Apollo's big brother is a hunting dog called Smoke. So whatever you want to say about that. But kids, dog, it's the cost. Kids get old or grow up, they want Matchbox toys, Barbie dolls, and da-da-da. Kids drive cars. Kids this. Dogs don't go to school. Dogs, give them a chew toy and a bed and they're happy. So, anyways, my kids are grown. It's awesome. Adult kids are the greatest thing on earth. They can feed themselves. They can clothe themselves. They can drive. Some of them make money. Some of them can do this and that. They're awesome. You can go to concerts with them. You can go to sporting events, and it's the coolest things. And it's just awesome. But you had to go through fucking 25 years of having them to enjoy them. And then you get the dogs in the way, and they're like, oh, why not a dog? So anyways, I'll finish up, but it's so I'm here. I'm on Everest. I'm climbing down. And I'm like, okay, I've done it. And my wife and my daughter, 2 years ago, they conspire against me. It's like a Steve Carlton curveball. You don't even see coming. It just comes and it hits. And they're like, oh, we're gonna get a rescue German Shepherd. I go, who? And we are. And my daughter's like, Dad, you're gonna be so bored. You are gonna be so bored when I'm gone. I'm like, well, no, I'm not. Your brother already left. I don't miss him at all. I'm certainly not going to miss you. Like, who are you kidding? You don't live here. But guess what? As some of the people in the back will know, I don't wear the pants. That's why I have a dog. I have a dog. So it's like I've been running a marathon. And I'm not a marathon guy, in case you can't tell. And so you're like, I don't know, 100 yards from the finish. You're like, whoo, empty nest, average marathon. And then someone just magically pulls your ass. And it's like, hey, we're going to go back to mile 3. And we're going to start all over. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? That's just unfair. It's like Godfather 3 is not the best Godfather, but it's still Al Pacino's Godfather. And he's like, just when I get out, they pull me back in. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I do have at the end, I'll get off, a clipboard with the Friel family calendar for April and May. So we need help with the frickin' dogs. So we're just sign up for a weekend. His name's Finn. You buy food. It's kind of cool. It's awesome. So we're gonna circulate that. Just sign up and we'll pay you. We'll pay you. And if you want the dog, you can have him.
Mark Friel, ladies and gentlemen. Mark! The great thing was Mark brought his dog to all 8 weeks of the class. It's like the funniest fucking dog right now. It's really funny. One more time for Mark. Love the energy. In Portland with dogs, it's a little different in Portland. Last week I saw a bulldog in transition, and in 6 weeks he'll be a pug. Well, that's why I like Portland, because it's diverse. I love diversity a lot. Our cleaner, Mrs. Lee, is from Korea, doesn't speak a lot of English, but she's really funny. I mean, a couple of months ago, I took a pair of jeans and it had a little red stain right here. You have to point out the stains, and she goes, "Is it the lipstick?" Sign up for the class. My husband and I moved here 22 years ago. We went to the Beavers games a lot, the Portland Beavers, and it was good. They brought one night they brought a group of Native Americans in to sing the national anthem in their native language, and they got the words mixed up, and the game was rained out. But it was an okay. Again, one more time for Mark Friel. It's great work. First time on stage. Come on. Yeah. So our next comedian is just terrific, and I dare say she's pretty Portland, and she's very funny, and I love her dearly. Please welcome Alice Carrier, ladies and gentlemen. Alice!
Wow, pretty Portland, huh? Thank you, Carl. Hi. You guys know that, like, people who meditate aren't chill people, right? Like, I'm not getting up early and putting myself in a preemptive timeout before anything's gone sideways. Because I'm a mellow guy. I'm from the West Coast. We're uptight. Like, you can get a gluten-free 5-star meal. You can get a kombucha at any truck stop along the I-5. I found drugs in the New Seasons parking lot the other day, and it was a psyllium husk capsule. Everybody has tummy trouble. It's okay. I have a little book. Oh, I used to trust hippies. They give you good advice on the internet. And then you start making homemade skincare products. And I was applying a mixture of fancy oil and fancy vinegar and fancy herbs to my face. And I smelled it. And it was salad dressing. And then I thought about all the other homemade recipes. And I realized that hippies use salad dressing like fucking duct tape. I mop my floors with it. I've sprayed my counters with it. I've smeared it all over my face. What are my the alternatives. I put googly eyes on my Oculus, so it's less scary to put it on my head. You know, it's like a virtual reality headset, but I'm not a gamer. I know maybe you're like expecting like cyber babe, like grime stuff, but it's literally just me on the floor in pajamas on a yoga mat with my vape pen, a rubber band around my ankles, watching shark videos in 360. I like homespun fringe theories. I make up my own to be safe. I like to imagine things like maybe UFOs are nanobots. Maybe we're really being observed through a microscope. Maybe we're very tiny. Maybe astrology works really well because it's actually a coordinate securing your identity in the multiverse. Thank you. Sometimes I think about misinformation. Maybe stink bugs are fucking liars. Do you ever kill them? No, you carry them outside. They stink, right? How the fuck would I know? I'm interested in anti-aging technology, but not because I want to look younger. I just think it's going to make fashion really interesting. I feel like kids are going to make themselves look old for fun. They will. We can already do it. But it's just going to be like skate dads hanging out at the mall. And it's kind of like buying pre-ripped jeans. Like, you didn't earn that patina. You don't look haunted. Four-leaf clover is not good luck if you're a clover. No, it's helpful, you know, like you're surrounded by three-leaf clovers. They saw your mistake. But it's nice, like our mistakes are relative. Like if all the little tiny guys living in your belly needed to be soothed, and one of them built a little spaceship and came out and beamed out a little message and was like, "Excuse me, Supreme Being? Do you think I'm good? Do you approve of how I've treated my brethren? Do you like me?" You'd be like, "Fuck, what are you? Are you like E. coli?" And it'd be like, "What's that? What's E. coli?" It would start freaking out, and you would have to be like, "Shh, it's okay. I don't know what you're doing in there. It doesn't matter." Ooh. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Because when weird shit happens, it's good luck for somebody. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful evening.
Alice Carrier, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Alice. Pretty amazing. Yeah. Since I left radio a while ago, I've been caregiving. I think it's a really cool thing. I'm teaching comedy caregiving. I have two elderly women I caregive for. One's 89, one's 88, just once a week. It's really nice. And I've learned that when people get a certain age, they lose their filters. You know what I'm talking about? My 88-year-old, she lives in Providence House. She's got a speech impediment. The second week I was there 5 years ago, she said, I told all the women here that I have a male caregiver. I said, well, that's nice, Patty. She said, they wanted to know if you were handsome. I said, well, what did you say? She goes, it's like, guess whose medicine's going to be mixed up? Okay. Happy pills, all right. Trying to lose weight. I've lost a lot of weight. I gave up fast food about 5 years ago, too. That's a really good thing. You should do it. I remember last time I was at fast food, I was at Burger King. I remember I ordered a burger. The woman behind the counter gave me the burger. Then she said to me, would you like to contribute to cancer research? So I gave her back the burger. My husband and I were eating at a restaurant very near here. I don't want to mention the name. And it's a good restaurant. It really is. And we had a good meal, and then the waitress came, and we asked about dessert, and she said, we have a fudge brownie, and we have a deep dish apple pie. And we go, oh, that sounds really good. She goes, yeah, it's really, they're both really good. It's a real Sophie's choice. I'm thinking, she brings us a brownie and says, well, the deep dish apple pie is on the way to Auschwitz. They needed better training than Sophie's Choice. What do you think? You know that movie, 1982? Long before you were born. Yeah. Oh, jeez. How old are you?
28.
Oh, fuck. 28.
Almost 29.
Yeah, thanks. I feel so much better. You have so much shit waiting for you, you have no idea. All right. Good to have you here. I like youth in the crowd. Well, not that fucking young, I'll tell you that. Joining us now, she's absolutely wonderful. This is the second semester I've had the honor of teaching her. She just keeps us all laughing because she is just naturally funny. She's wonderful. Please welcome Na Wen, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, my name is Na. Like, can I take you out? Nah. I'm currently 32 at the stage in my life where most of my friends are married or they are in 10+ year relationships. So I'm one of the only single ones that are still out here in the circus. And the number one question that I always get asked is, why are you single? And honestly, there's just so many things about dating and men that just give me the ick. Like guys that post pictures of dogs that are not theirs. One, we now have trust issues because you lied. And two, who is your friend? I would like to know who the actual owner of the golden retriever is. Guys that take selfies with a toilet or a urinal as a background. I don't know who started that trend, but it is not cute. If you are a 10 with a toilet or a urinal as a background in pictures, you are a -10. Immediate pass for me. Guys that are full-time day traders. These guys are a walking red flag, and when I'm dating someone, his money is our money. So I cannot be a millionaire 1 month and bankrupt the next. Guys that are sloppy drunks. These are the guys that order AMFs at the bar. I really do not like it when the guy goes missing and I find him hours later laying on the grass in front of my house. So you know how no matter what you do, there's like a certain type of guy that you always attract? So for me, it's guys that are named John. And all the variations of it. Johnny, Jonathan, John with an H, without, same shit. I have yet to meet a John that does not ruin my life. I always try to be positive. I'm like, okay, this one's gonna be different. And after hanging out, I'm always reminded that they are all the same. I actually hung out with one recently. He was a lot shorter than my usual preference. He was also a 3. But the inventory's slim out here, so take what I can get. And during our private hangout, he called me the wrong name. Twice! So when it happened again, I'm like, this has got to be a John thing. Guys that take forever to respond. I'm talking to this guy, he responds every 4 days. So I have to respond every 5 to 7. And it just takes a really long time to get to know each other. And at this point, we should just get a carrier pigeon and probably be a lot faster. You know how dating coaches always talk about how you need to look within your friend group. You know, there might be that one nice guy that might have potential. So I tried this with my guy BFF, and I got very drunk one day. I was like, okay, drunk me with beer goggles, ultimate test. And as I was looking at him, I was just like, yeah, still not seeing it. Yeah, still ugly. And making out with him right now will be really disgusting. Dating apps, oh my god. I have a friend that has never been on a dating app that said to me, dating apps give you endless opportunities to meet the most amazing men in the world. Bitch, you have no idea. And you know how like on dating apps, everyone puts their best picture forward? There'll be that one picture, okay, where they look slightly off and kind of ugly. That's how they actually look like. And one time a guy said to me that he couldn't hang out for 2 weeks because he was on house arrest. And then another time this guy said that he hasn't been in Portland for 5 years. Quick Google search found out he just got out of jail for robbing banks by my house. And then another guy said that he likes nature and the outdoors. He was homeless! And when he asked me to go hang out in his trailer and eat canned food, I said nah. And this is going to be a hot topic, but guys, you have got to stop lying about your height. You know, you add extra inches with your shoes and your hair, and when we meet you, you shrink. And ladies, if he's lying about his height, best believe he's lying about height of other things. And you guys know those guys, or when you say that anything is big, they're always like this dick! Those are the guys with the micro D. It is false advertising. It's kind of community service. And some of us have already given back to that community. So I would stay away. And to your surprise, I am still very single. So if there's a John out there or anyone else that would like to ruin my life, please find me after the show. Thank you.
Now when, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, give it up for now when. Yeah, you're gonna find somebody, not maybe tonight. Oh, I'm sorry, you're already taken. Yeah. And notice, you weren't holding her hand until the dating app. Now it's like holding her real close and go, I'm not in the small D community. It's all right. Or micro D, is that it?
Micro D.
Oh, now you've started. Look at it, micro Ds.
Yeah, those are my friends.
Of course they're their friends. Three? I said micro D and the guy goes, 3! Are you like a one joke behind or something? No. Sure. Centimeters. So yeah. Are you a not? Are you? Oh, good. Yeah. No, I love it. You're gonna find someone really nice real soon. My husband and I just celebrated our 25th anniversary in December. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Everyone in my family loves Gary. My mom was a little tough at the beginning. My mom's a Republican, lives in Florida, watches Fox News, and I go down there. I've battled her ever since high school in politics. I would go down to Florida, and once she accidentally bleached my Obama T-shirt, so I set fire to her Glenn Beck Christmas sweater. That's what I did. But Gary flew down with me in 1998 to meet my mom, and we're having dinner. She looks across the table and she goes, "Now, which one of you is gay?" It's like, and then she says, "Well, we didn't have homosexuals in the 1950s." I said, "Well, somebody put the fins on those Cadillacs. Somebody did those beehive hairdos. Come on." We have a friend, Jenny, who's lesbian. She also has a Republican mother who lives in Florida. She said she told her mother she was a lesbian, and her mother goes, "What's next, Jenny? Heroin?" Lesbianism, the gateway drug. Okay. All right, we're going to keep going. We got great comics. I'm glad you're here tonight. It's a special night. And this next gentleman has just done a wonderful job in class. It's been great to meet him. He keeps us laughing constantly. I know he'll do the same with you. Please welcome Aiden Diskin, ladies and gentlemen. Aiden Diskin.
Hi. I got a dog during the pandemic. I was one of the many people who got a dog. And like any good dog owner, I've spent a lot of time watching Cesar Millan, Dog Whisperer. You know the guy. Right? So I was watching an episode. I have a pit bull mix, and Cesar Millan was working with a pit bull mix, and the dog was over chewing on something in the corner. Caesar's over here, and he's really tense. He's really nervous, right? And he starts saying, "The dog, he has killer eyes. When he's chewing on that toy, he's thinking about killing." Oh shit. My dog's over across the room, and you know that feeling when somebody's looking at you? So I look over, he's looking at me. But he's also licking his asshole. So I don't feel that worried. My dog's name is Ryan. His name was Rover when I got him. That's just like naming your dog Dog. So I changed it. His name's Ryan. His full name is Ryan Reynolds because he's got such a cute little face. And I'm trying to get at some of that mobile money. Yeah, his name's Ryan Reynolds, but I just call him Ryan because I'm not going to be that guy at the dog park that's like, "Here, Ryan Reynolds, come to daddy. Ryan Reynolds, come over here." Yeah, I did his DNA, and before you ask, no, I have not done my own. But I did his DNA, and he's a pit bull mixed with a Doberman Pinscher. I know, right? Yeah, it's really scary. But he's also 16% Chihuahua and 12% Pekingese. So he's just so vicious. It's interesting the things we inherit, right? Not necessarily things, stuff, money, whatever. I mean more like traits, personality, your height, your undiagnosed mental illness. my mom and I share something very distinct, right? We're both snarters. If you need clarification, a snart is when you sneeze and you fart at the same time. The force of your sneeze pushes out the fart. So my mom would, she'd get up and walk out of the room. You'd hear her in the kitchen. It usually came in fours. She did come by it honest, though. I remember my grandma snarting her way around the house. And I like to think a little farther back than that, right? Her mom, and her mom's mom, her mom's mom, all my ancestors just snarting around the old country from Belfast to County Cork. My mom's a lovely person, though, super loving. There's one person she really hates, though. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Little backstory, my mom was a Special Olympics volunteer for years, and the kindergarten cop was somewhat of a figurehead for the organization at that point. He'd come out and he'd do an opening speech where he sounded like the Tasmanian devil had put himself through a voice modulator. And he'd finish it with some nonsense that was like, if you believe it, you can achieve it! Ah! In retrospect, I'm not sure having your motivational speaker be the second worst person to come out of Austria. That's my opinion. That's a clumsily veiled Hitler reference. Sorry, Arnold, when it comes to being an asshole from Austria, Hitler's number one. There's a correction I need to make. Some of you may have heard it, I'm not sure. But despite what you may have heard from my elementary, middle, and high school classmates, I'm not gay. It started at elementary school. It was the 90s, and gay was used as a synonym for stupid and lame, which is a fucking stupid and lame thing to do, right? So in a way, we were all a little gay. Got it. But they call me these names. My name's Aiden Diskin, if you don't remember, and they were kind of clever about it. They called me Gaydon Dickskin. It still hurts my feelings. So they called me that, and then they called me the F word, the big pejorative. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I can't actually physically say it. I can only spell it out for you like Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. It was F-double-gut-ought. Yeah, they called me these names, they made fun of me like this. Because I was in a boys' chorus. I was in a very serious extracurricular boys' chorus, which did have its advantages. I was the only second grader who knew how to tie a tie. And believe me, I was smug about it. Do you want a single, a double, a triple Windsor? I can even do a bow tie. And people would be like, you're gay! And I'd be like, at least I don't have to wear a clip-on to church. But yeah, this was a very serious boys' chorus. This boys' chorus had a punctuality policy. First thing they teach you when you get through the door at 7 years old is a punctuality policy. That policy was, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. What the fuck? I'm 7. I can't read a clock. I'm much more concerned about which temporary tattoo I'm going to get from like the little kid's toy vending machine. You know, the one with the orbs with like the sticky hands, or the toy soldier with the parachute made out of a dog poop bag. But the temp tattoos were my thing, right? It was a big gamble. For me, a cool thing was getting like a Power Ranger, or that pissing Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. But then it could be something lame like My Little Pony, or like a fake Tamagotchi bullshit. But still, I got to go to the store and get a thing, which was better than not having a thing. even if it was a thing I didn't want. Going back to Arnold, I got to meet the future governor one day, right? You know, like I said, my mom has this snarting habit that I share with her. For me, it comes out when I'm really nervous or uncomfortable, right? So I'm mustering up my courage, which for me at the time meant going in the corner and snarting 3 times, which is weird. It usually comes in 4s. So I muster up all my courage and I walk up to him and I say, "Mr. Schwarzenegger, can I please have an autograph?" And he says, "If you have $5, an autograph will be yours." I don't have $5, I'm only this many. "Come back when you've developed an entrepreneurial spirit." And suddenly, it usually comes in 4s. If I'm being honest, that one was a little bit more of a snoop than a snart. So I talked about elementary school, kids are calling me gay. I was in a boys' chorus, you know. So all that seriousness paid off at a certain point. A few years later, our chorus gets invited to do a concert with the San Francisco Symphony. And later that year, that recording won a Grammy Award for the best classical music album of 1998. I know, right? And so I'm pumped, right? I'm like, all these kids are gonna stop making fun of me. You know, leave me alone. They're gonna think, maybe they're gonna think I'm cool. Believe it or not, 8th graders are not impressed by niche music awards. They didn't care, right? So I'm all, you know, I'm getting flustered at this point. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna show you guys just how gay I'm not. I'm gonna go to high school, and I'm gonna get really, really good at musical theater. Where all straight men go to demonstrate their masculinity. And I do. I go to high school, I get really good at musical theater, and the senior year, I get the lead in Oklahoma, right? And I'm pumped, because there's nothing straighter than cowboys. And yeah, big surprise, you guys have figured it out. It doesn't really work, nobody believes me. I'm trying my best to convince myself. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting invited to the otherwise all-girls parties because I'm cool, fun, charming. When really I know it's because I feel safe and know all the words to Les Mis. So again, I'm like, I got to do something, right? Because I'm wasting all this heterosexual energy. And so it hits me. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Ballet. Bear with me. Because I'm thinking ballet, I'm going to be a big fish in a tiny little pond with all these sexy little ladyfish. And a bunch of like gay fish swimming around. I don't know what they'd be. Seahorses? But to my surprise, my ballet school, the first company I danced with, was all bros. All straight dudes. And not just like straight, like frat boy straight. Like we're slapping each other on the ass, we're making sports references, talking about how hot the girls are. And, but sometimes it would get confusing, right? Because somebody would come up to you and be like, "Hey dude, are the seams on my tights straight?" Or you'd overhear like, "Oh no, I got lipstick on my leotard." It was a very locker room vibe, right? After shows, we had this big like gym shower with a bunch of head. We put we put a big cooler in the middle of the room full of beer. I don't have a joke there, I just kind of miss it. But it wasn't until the second company that I danced for, where I danced with the majority of gay men, and they all wanted to fuck me. I'm not being arrogant. Like, they told me repeatedly that they wanted to fuck me. There's one guy I remember, we were in a dressing room, and it was just me and him, and I'm changing, so I'm naked, you know, and he's over there sitting in a chair. And you know that feeling when somebody's looking at you? So I look over, and yeah, and he's leering at me, right? And I'm like, what? I just really wanted to suck your dick right now. And like that feels so gross. But I had this realization. Oh, that's how women feel all the time. Like every day, you guys have to deal with this shit. People, right? Yeah, okay. It's a good lesson to learn. But I really, like, you know, my instinct is to be mad, is to be upset. But as a straight white man, I don't feel like I can get that mad about stuff anymore, you know? There's no, like, cultural issues or appropriation that I have to protect because my culture is potato famine and dancing like this. And nobody wants that. So I'm in the dressing room and I'm naked and he's over there and he's like, I just really want to suck your dick right now. And I have this feeling like I have to say something. I have to do something. And suddenly, because it usually comes in fours. Thank you.
Aiden Diskin, ladies and gentlemen. Aiden! Good job. Keep it going for all the performers so far. Come on, boys. Yeah. If you would like to be as funny as our students, PortlandComedy.com, is that right, Nick? Or, excuse me, Patrick?
My name was wrong, but the website was correct.
Thank you. I'm not 29 anymore.
Hey, make them say it with you. They'll remember it that way.
PortlandComedy.com. PortlandComedy.com. I feel like I'm caregiving. And so you can sign up for either introductory or intermediate if you have some experience, and we'd love to have you in class. And a special for the April classes, 10% off for anyone who's a former employee of Silicon Valley Bank. So you need it, you need it, you need it. You know, I'm very excited to see all these students get out on the road and do some comedy. There are some frightening places like Richland, Washington, to go. I think the worst place for me was the Deep South. I was in Pamplona, Alabama for the running of the Rednecks, and I was gored by their sharp intellect, frankly. Thanks for getting that. Arkansas is another place. You see shit in Arkansas you'll not see anywhere in the rest of the country. I saw a 12-year-old girl in Arkansas smoking right in front of her children. It was... Thank you. Some of these jokes you get on the way home. It's no pressure here. Wake up tomorrow morning, damn, that was funny. All right, are you ready for our next performer? Actually, our next performer, Nick, was on Friday night as well and did so great. He's back for a curtain call. Please welcome, and we love him, Nick Alderson, ladies and gentlemen. And his groupies.
Hey everyone. Unlike some certain ballerinas, I actually am gay. And that's why this microphone feels kind of small. Just saying. I wouldn't need any lube, just spit. I'm not only gay, I'm also a faggot. I know that's a rough word. Now that it's been spelled out for you. Like there's a lot of like pain and hurt and trauma associated with that word. It's also literally the most efficient way to describe me. You know, people are like, why do you refer to yourself as a faggot? And it's like, once you put on a harness, underwear, and call it a Power Rangers costume, it just becomes kind of required. Once you spend your last vacation in Las Vegas, playing kickball, getting railed by 3 guys on ketamine in your hotel room, and you only ever bothered to learn one of their names. It's just kind of like legally how you have to refer to yourself. When you enter a contact in your phone as guy who fingered me on the dance floor, November 12th, ... Kyle? Question mark? The DMV just like showed up at my house and updated my driver's license for me. All gay men are named Kyle, by the way. People are like, do you know my gay friend named Kyle? I'm like, yes, I do. It's like we're talking about like levels of gay here, right? There's like booty shorts and iced coffee in the winter. That's pretty basic. Then there's meeting someone at a party. He comes up to you. He's like, hey, nice to meet you. How's your night going? And I'm like, you've been inside me before. But could you please remind me of your name? Thank you so much. You know, it's like, when do you know? When do you know that you've evolved into being a faggot? And there are signs. It accumulates like the snow. One night I was at a concert for a Norwegian pop diva. None of you will know who she is. And my friends afterwards, we wanted to go out dancing after the concert because we were super sober. Then we went to an after party, then a second after party. So it's 5:00 a.m. and we're getting home. And my friend is crashing with me and we haven't realized that we've just been accumulating, like the snow, body glitter all night. So the next morning, my bed looks like an employee from Claire's Accessories at the mall just got fucking murdered. And I'm like, this is gonna be harder to clear up than my last round of chlamydia. It's rough. Now, the thing about reclaiming the word faggot is it's kind of confusing. Because on one hand, it's like a joyous revolution, right? And on the other hand, when I'm confronted with actual hatred and homophobia, I just get kind of horny. Like one time I was in a grocery store parking lot and a man kind of like was walking up towards me, which is already pretty fun. And, you know, he tensed up, you know, he had the camo cargo shorts, gray tank top, we all see who this is. And he was just like, hey, you're a little faggot. And I was like, oh my God. Are we gonna fuck? Is your name Kyle? So I have been made aware that there are a lot of straight people here tonight. Gross. No, I'm kidding. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's your weekend, you know? Happy Pride, straight people. No, I love straight people. They always ask me why I'm single, and it's a compliment. You know, they're always like, you're so handsome. How are you single? And it's cute because straight people have never seen an attractive person before. You don't know what they look like. Gay people are so attractive. You know, like I'm hot to straight people. I'm funny to gay people. Straight girls are like, I love your eyelashes and you have big arms. And gay guys are like, you're a hoot. I'm an ally. I love straight guys, they're so simple. And there's always a chance that deep down they're a little bit bi. I also love straight women. I've made best friends with an English teacher or two in my day. I had a grandma, I really get y'all. My parents are straight, probably, good for them. You know, they were great, very cherished childhood. They were super supportive to have a gay son. They didn't quite know what to do to have a little faggy son. You know, they embraced and supported my sexuality the same way that you automatically click the box accepting the terms and services agreement without actually reading through it. You know, they were like, oh yeah, unconditional love. Listen to Wicked a few times, that sounds great. Done. Love our kid. They didn't realize that for the rest of their lives, they would have to, at a moment's notice, correctly rank every one of Cate Blanchett's Emmy or Oscar award-winning performances. They never realized they'd have to learn their son's favorite brand of poppers. Poppers are a VHS cleaner that when you huff it through your nose, it gives you a head rush and expands your asshole for sex. And my favorite brand is Double Scorpio Rose Gold. I am so gay that my favorite brand of asshole relaxers is named after astrology and flavored rose gold. That's what we're dealing with here. I'm so gay that when I came out to my parents, their first response was, honey, we know and we love you. And my response was, okay, wow, you're just like really stepping on my moment. No, that's fine. We can make this about you and your unconditional love. So we went over how I knew. But how did they know? There were a lot of signs. A lot of the signs had to do with the musical Cats. But if we really had to distill an example, as a kid, I played t-ball, which, by the way, is a dumb sport. It sits there, you don't get to practice balls flying at your face, it takes no skill or whatever, it's dumb. My dad was the coach, which was very cute. I was on first base, and a kid walked up to hit the ball, and he did, because it's just fucking there. And so I take off running, but then some kid in the outfield catches it, like, what the fuck? You're 9. You can't catch a ball. So no one knew what to do. And the other team's coach had to explain to their team to throw it back to the base. This is some sports. There's gay people here. These are sports. And their coach was able to communicate this before my dad could get my attention to get me start running down, because I'm just like prancing, having the time of my life. So he had to come get me off the field because I didn't even know I was out. And I burst into tears because I was so sad that I potentially disappointed my father. And as the story goes, he took me into a big hug and just thought to himself, you know what? Not that kind of kid. And 2 weeks later, he signed me up for my first drama class. So sweet. Fast forward 25 years, and my mother messages me on Instagram weekly, being like, please, dear God, put on more clothes. I don't care what you say, that is not a Power Rangers costume. But they got my sister. They got a pretty traditional experience raising a normal kid there. Although, side note, for a while, a lot of my extended family did ask me if she was a lesbian. because they didn't understand feminism. But now she's married to a very lovely man, so there's just really no way of knowing. The wedding was fun. Straight weddings are fucking crazy. They are kind of gayer than gay weddings. There's just a bunch of like middle-aged women wearing fabulous beaded dresses dancing around. There's a song that everyone knows the words to about some girl named Eileen, and they keep insisting we come on her. And at one point, it's okay for all of the men to kind of like walk into the dark to smoke cigars. But I'm not allowed to find the most curious looking groomsmen to walk into the dark to suck some dick. Double standards, y'all. But now that they're married, it's all about the baby talk. It's all about, what's your birth plan? Do you want kids? When are you gonna have kids? And that's a really gross question. Really, really invasive if you think about what's actually happening. Like, I was at Sunday dinner, all our cousins are there, and they asked my sister, have you guys started trying for kids yet? And I'm like, I also took 2 loads this morning, but you would be uncomfortable if I brought that up. But I don't say that, I just take a bite of lasagna, go to the bathroom, and squeeze out Kyle Jr.
Wolfson, ladies and gentlemen. I have to tell you how great a performer Nick is because he's actually straight. That's some drama school there, isn't it? One more time for Nick. You all right? You're holding on tighter to your girlfriend now, aren't you? Every act is my anaconda friend. Okay.
You're doing great, Carl.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite of Nick in the sense that I've been married for 25 years and our relationship isn't exciting as your life isn't as exciting. You know, we just argue about who goes to the grocery store, right? Because we both fucking hate it. That's the truth. About 10 years ago, I got a list. On my list was, I can't believe it's not butter. Has anyone heard of that? Yeah. Fuck. So I actually go to Safeway because it's 2 blocks away. And, you know, I wear a disguise because I'm at Safeway. But I'm looking for the butter aisle. I finally find that after 10 minutes. And I'm looking for I can't believe it's not butter. And there it is. I can't believe I found it, actually. And I swear to you, right next to could it be, I can't believe it's not butter is a product called Could It Be Butter? This is pressure I don't need. I'm thinking, who would name a product Could It Be Butter? Had to be a lawyer, right? Because then the people who make Could It Be Butter have immunity from all liability. Say you buy Could It Be Butter, take it home, say it's not butter. Say it turns out to be a tub of pork fat or poppers, you know? You take it back to Safeway, what are they going to tell you? We didn't tell you it was butter. The point is, it's all the free, you know, you can't start naming products with a question. Pretty soon there's no Fancy Feast in the cat food aisle, just a tin. Could it be monkey meat? Try to download a Michael Bolton track. Could it be shit? You know, I can't believe it's not music. It's the advertising, the marketing, they just get in your face. Have you noticed every 5 minutes on TV there's an antidepressant commercial? Do you need Prozac? Take this simple test. Do you ever tear up at funerals? At least once in the past 5 years, have you not slept well? When the neighbor kid killed your dog with lawn darts, were you slightly annoyed? I think there's only one commercial on TV left that tells you the truth. Taco Bell tastes as good as it looks.
No rice.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, my favorite marketing thing in North Dakota, there's been twice, 3 times now, an effort to change the name of North Dakota from North Dakota to Dakota. Very good, smart people. They think, this is their reasoning, they think the word north connotes cold and it will curb tourism. I've been to Minot, 80 below wind chill in January. These are some marketing genius. Why don't they just name the state? I can't believe it's not Florida. How about that? Okay, you ready to keep the show going? One more time for Nick and everybody. They're all doing so good. This next guy is just, he's magical, he's wonderful. He was in the introductory class and doing a whole new set from the intermediate class. And he originally came from Germany. Please welcome Idris Wahed. Idris!
Hey everyone, I am a simple straight man with a simple straight man pet peeve. I hate people. But big pet peeve of mine are people who are needlessly pretentious. Recently I was having a conversation with this lovely woman, very Oregon conversation, like the rain's not so bad and it's so nice how it's green here all the time. And she gets around to asking me, do I like camping? And I'm like, yeah, I love camping. And she gives me this look. It's like, do you like camping or do you like real camping? And 26 years in Oregon apparently is not enough to prepare me for this question because I'm not sure what she's asking me. I've heard of glamping, which, as I understand, is kind of more of an upscale experience where you and your friends pay to go someplace that's already set up for you. This is some safari-style tent with poofs and lounge chairs and amenities like a butler named Bernard comes around. Would you like a mimosa, sir? Yes, I would. And that sounds awesome. I've never done that, though. I've always just done the usual thing where you drive out somewhere, you put up a tent, and make s'mores and sing Kumbaya. So I tell her this, and she just gets a smug look on her face. She's like, no. That's not real camping. That's car camping. Real camping is getting away from the car, away from civilization, and out into nature. It takes me a minute to process what she means by this. And I realize she's talking about backpacking, which is famously called backpacking. I've never heard it or anything else referred to as real camping. I mean, first of all, anytime I've asked anyone, you want to go camping, or they've asked me, by default, we're talking about car camping. If you need special arrangements to go in number 2, that's like an additional layer of conversation. Which brings me to my second point. I feel like distance from car is just a very arbitrary place to draw the line between what is and is not real camping. And for me, camping is real as soon as going to the bathroom feels weird. Like my body just knows. Like as soon as it gets a whiff of camping in the air, like the sign on the back door goes from open to closed. A little sign goes up that says gone camping, and it does not reopen until I get back home. I haven't tried poppers. I don't know how that is. Maybe one of these days I'll find out. By my definition, though, I think a lot of things qualify for camping. I think the first time ladies stay over at their boyfriend's house, that counts as camping. A lot of you guys sure as hell pack like you're going camping. You got toiletries, you got snacks, change of clothing, bring your own pillow. And you open the fridge, there's a 6K pack of beer in there, fixings for like 2.5 hot dogs. And there's like no Febreze or poopery in the bathroom, like hide the tracks that preserve the world's weirdest secret. You know, you guys, it's okay. Anyway, the third and final point for this particular argument is getting away from civilization. not like backpackers are getting out there and like they're foraging for food and like building lean-tos out of sticks and leaves. No, they bring all the same shit you bring normal camping. It's just like the smaller, more expensive version of it all. And if you ask me, if most of your equipment is like specifically engineered to be reliable, durable, lightweight, small, and made of advanced materials like carbon fiber that were designed to put man on the moon, feels pretty civilized to me. Like by the time I've like got enough sticks and twigs, like get my fire going, they've just jet boiled some water, poured it in a plastic pouch of like dehydrated food, and they're enjoying like a 3-course feast with like beef stroganoff and pudding, while I'm just like barely getting my hot dogs open. It's not exactly roughing it. Part of me secretly hopes that her friends, like our backpacking buddies, are as pretentious about this stuff as she is. Like she gets a new tent, she's excited to show everyone, and she's like, guys, guess who's got a backpacking tent? I was like, no you didn't. But is it a backpacking tent, or is it a real backpacking tent? She's like, oh look, it's $1,000 and it fits right in my backpack. And the friend's like, no. That's not a real backpack tent. This is. It costs $2,000. It deploys at the push of a button. It's so small, it fits up my butt. I do like camping though. There's parts of it I'm not a huge fan of. It sucks when you're that person at the campfire singles out to just smoke out the entire night no matter where you go. It also sucks when you have a friend who just forgets to bring like the most important part of camping. It's like we're camping in the desert and you forgot to bring water. You are 90% water in a place that wants you to be 0% that. But my least favorite part of camping is an archetype of person. And if you find any resemblance of this in yourself, just know I never want to camp with you. That is the tent inspector. Oh, some of you know where this is going. You have met a tent inspector. Yeah, it's that wonderful time when everyone's arrived at the campsite, everyone's setting up their tents. You've got your tent out for the first time in 9 months, and you're getting reacquainted with those bungee cord rods and how they fit together. Trying to remember like which parts of this are actually broken and don't actually belong with this. You've been wrangling with this puzzle for a while. But you feel good about it, and then somewhere behind you, you hear the tent inspector. Hey, couldn't help but notice. Seem to be having a bit of a hard time. I'm no expert on this, but seems like you could use a little bit of help. Which is the most infuriating thing in the world to hear in that moment. Like, first of all, because apparently I like to have my arguments in numbered format. First of all, I know I'm doing this wrong. Or I will in 10 minutes when it's all jacked up and the cussing starts. It's part of it. Let me have this. I'm trying to get away from civilization. Second of all, this isn't sex. For once in my life, I can put the pole in the wrong hole many times as I want, without criticism. At least until you showed up. And last but not least, do you have your own damn tent to set up? No, man, I'm good. Mine's already set up. I've got one of those $2,000 backpacking tents that deploys at the push of a button. Would you like to know where I keep it when I'm using it? Yeah, pretentious people are the worst. Almost worse than hypocrites. I guess what I'm trying to say is just, when things are supposed to be fun and enjoyable, just don't be a dick about it. Don't be pretentious about it. Just make sure you do what you like and bring everything that you need to have a good time. Like for me, for example, I always like to bring some of my own chocolate. I was born in Germany and lived there for the first few years of my life, and I'm just used to chocolate tasting a certain kind of way. And the few occasions where I forget to bring some chocolate of my own, and it's time to make s'mores, fortunately people are always really nice and really accommodating, like, oh, don't worry, you're good, like, you can have some of ours. And I'm like, thank you, that's very nice of you. Show me, what do you have? And it's always the same thing. It's always that brick of Hershey's milk chocolate. I can't help myself. I'm just like, no, that's not real chocolate. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you so much.
The Greens, ladies and gentlemen, the Green flag. And look at those people rushing to get their chocolate, ladies and gentlemen. The German chocolate. That's great stuff. High concept comedy. Keep it going for Dries. Yeah. Wow, bathroom break, huh? Yeah. We have 16 more comics, so it's going to be a night. Anyone from California here? Well, that's not statistically correct. One freaking person from California? Where are you from in California?
This is Mark.
Oh, it's Mark.
California,
Yeah, I know.
I'm honest.
Yeah.
Go Dodgers.
Your part of the show's over. All right. No. We love you, Mark. What city did you grow up in?
West LA.
West LA. Okay, good. And you're a big Dodger fan. I happen to know that, which is nice. Did you ever go see the Raiders when you were down there?
Yeah, Marcus Allen, baby.
Thank you. Well, let's go through the whole roster, shall we? Let's go back to Jim Plunkett at this point. Yeah, my friend Harris, who was a house MC at the Comedy Store for years, had Raiders season tickets for 4 years. So I would go with Harris often to the Raiders games. And those are a different breed of fan. Raiders fans, they would, you know what I'm talking about, drunk out of their minds. You know, they had so many fights at the Raiders game. One season, they banned all beer and alcohol sales at the Raiders game, which didn't deter the Raiders fans. Yes. We had nosebleed seats, and Harris and I are up in the nosebleed seat the week after they had banned all the beer, and we see this guy coming up the aisle with a baby in one of those harnesses, you know? He's patting the baby, cooing to the baby, sits down in front of us, proceeds to unscrew the baby's head. Put in a straw and suck liquor for 3/4. That's a Raiders fan right there. I didn't like the Super Bowl commercials this year, did you guys? I thought they were lame. I miss Spuds McKenzie, you know what I'm talking about? Oh yeah. You gotta bring Spuds back. How many people knew Spuds was a female? Did you know that? Grace knew it. Yeah. Here's a tougher Hollywood trivia since you're from West Los Angeles. How many people, including you, Mark, know why Spuds McKenzie had to be a female? Oh, come on. Most animals in TV and film are female. They don't want that thing on the screen. Think about it. King Kong climbing the Empire State Building. You didn't see that. What was that? That would have reached Jersey. Come on. If that were true, you could hold onto the building and still knock the planes out of the air. Okay. I'm just killing time till the ladies are back from the... All right, we got 3 more outstanding comics, and you're in for the long haul, and you're in for a treat. Joining us now, a guy I love him very much, and I even understand he's had such a great experience that his daughter has signed up for the introductory class next quarter. He's the light. Please welcome John Burton, ladies and gentlemen. John Burton.
Well, hello. A couple things you should know about me right off the bat. I'm a selfish lover. And a victim blamer. So, the thing I haven't heard anybody talk about tonight is hairy balls. Right? Yeah. So, it's fun to say. And you can use hairy balls as a conversation starter on a date. It's going, not going very well, and well, geez, let's talk about my hairy balls. And ladies, you can talk about your hairy balls too. You know who I'm talking about. So, at work, I thought, I'm going to talk about my hairy balls at work. Janice from accounting comes in. I'm just going to fuck with Janice. And you know who Janice is. She's got that fucking 20-ounce tumbler, takes to Starbucks, orders the quad decaf with fucking sugar-free vanilla. She has I Heart New York on it. She went to one goddamn show. Now she's a super fucking fan. Yeah, Janice. So Janice says, hey, how was your weekend? I go, well, I talked about my hairy balls. She says, well, have you heard of manscaping? Now, I know from Phil in records that Janice is a professional. I mean, this is like a slippery slide. The one you find at Wally World. I mean, this thing is like slip. So I'm like, I'm going to take advice from Janice. So Janice says, well, yeah, manscaping. I'm like topiaries at Disney? And she's like, well, yeah, Goofy and Friends. I'm like, oh, no. I think it's more like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I mean, first of all, the size is more appropriate. You got sneezy, droopy, drippy, angry, all the dwarfs. So, there's that. So, enough about the hairy balls. How about that new partnership the City of Portland and the cartel have made? It's amazing. $1,000 handout to the homeless. Man, talk about angel funding for fentanyl. Jesus. And the worst part about it, we have to wait longer for our new iPhones. I mean, it's going to be terrible. So, and how the fuck did they beat reparations? I mean, they're way ahead of the game. Who's their marketing team? Man. Yeah, that's okay. With all the taxes we're all paying now, I mean, we're all going to be homeless soon. Those motherfuckers have the best real estate. There's not waterfront property available anywhere. So, yeah, so that's interesting. So, the alphabet people confuse me a little bit. It's how people identify. Doesn't matter to me, but the alphabet has completely been taken over, which is great. Now getting laid is like playing a giant great game of Scrabble. Most points win. It's amazing. But then the number and the symbol people jumped in, so now it's an algebraic equation. I'm fucking terrible at math. So there's that. And then there are those that identify as goblin. It's a fair question. I looked it up. And the goblin folks, well, they don't identify with the alphabet people or the number and symbol people. They're kind of their own deal. So I get curious. I go online at work. And I know, not a great idea. So I start looking at, looking up goblin. And the first pictures were kind of interesting, and then the goblin videos came on, and I'm a premium subscriber now. And, pixies and fairies and thongs, that's okay. But the fucking leprechauns, I mean, talk about magically delicious. I mean, it just all changes everything. It's pretty wild. Man. Yeah, so after I was looking up goblins, I got fired from work. Yeah, I was working at the suicide hotline, kept putting people on hold. It's the only job in America where you can go from an employee to a customer all in the same fucking day. Absolutely crazy. So I'm in the shower the other day thinking about Barney, the big purple dinosaur. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. Now it'll be in your fucking head for the next 3 weeks. Terrible song. So I'm thinking about Barney, and I'm thinking to myself, what happened to Barney? What happened to the actor? So I go back to Google, I look it up. Well, the actor became a sex therapist. It's a true story. But it's the worst kind of sex therapist, because this sex therapist doesn't believe in orgasm. Nobody's coming. I'm like, what a fucking waste of time that is. Now, for my wife, nothing changes for her. She's used to that. But for me, that's the only way I know when to tap out, turn over, and go to sleep. So there's that. Yeah, so to no surprise, I'm divorced. It happens. But I'm not the most observant. You know, my wife at the time would, go off to Palm Springs with the girls for the girls' weekend. Often. There's 52 weeks in the year, and I'd say she hit about half of those weeks. And it got so bad that I started dating my right hand again. And always gone. Ordering batteries, sending me pictures of her and the girls in the pool, pillow fights, sometimes videos. I'm thinking, man, this is really nice. The shared experience, including me. No, we just had a shared Shutterfly account, and she's making a memory book. So she comes to me one day, and she says, I like women. It's like, oh, thank God, you're not a goblin. I have to start calling you Dildo Baggins. So, okay, we've got some great acts coming up. You've been wonderful. Thank you.
John Burton, ladies and gentlemen. His first wife was a lesbian. And John said, what's next? Heroin? One more time for John, working really hard. What's really amazing about my students is 8 weeks ago, none of them could speak English. That's... How you doing? You got a Dodger cap on too, don't you? That's a Dodger cap, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he buy that for you, or are you a Dodger fan?
No, I bought it.
You bought it? Okay, so you're a Dodger fan? Or you just like the hat?
I just like the hat.
See, Mark's a big Dodger fan, and he's really pissed that you just like the hat. He reminds me of being from Philadelphia, that my teams suck all the time. Phillies lost the World Series, Eagles lost the Super Bowl. Thanks for reminding me, John. I've had enough trauma in my life. When I was a kid, the Phillies, our baseball team, lost 23 games in a row. It's still a record. We'd be there opening day with signs. Wait till next year. Anyone been to Philly before we go on? Anybody? Do you love it?
Yes.
Chamber of Commerce. I love Philly. It's a great place, great history. I'll give you a little tip there. Did you take the walking tour of Philadelphia? No. No. See, if you took the walking tour, you'd like it more. Poppers. You give out poppers. Are you booking flights on your phone right now? Fuck. This is an easy crowd. No, I'll give you a little, you take walking tours in cities. In Philadelphia, you go to the Independence Hall, the Liberty Bell, all that, and it's great history. But then the last place they'll take you is the waterfront, and they'll tell you about the Ben Franklin Bridge, which is amazing. And the tour guides always say this. They go, it's a Benjamin Franklin Bridge. It was built in 1926. It was an engineering marvel. It was the longest suspension bridge in the world when it was opened for the American Sesquicentennial. And they're going to be all these engineering marvel statistics about the bridge. And then they'll ask everyone, but can you see or spy a flaw in the Ben Franklin Bridge? And nobody ever gets it. And finally the tour guide said, the flaw in the Ben Franklin Bridge is it goes to New Jersey. Okay. Thank you very much. That's evidently the flaw in the punchline. One more time for John, who worked so hard for you. I want you to know that it's very, very tough for all of these comics, except Nick, who's just being himself on stage, to come up on stage. And he is straight, I'm telling you, he's straight. It's unbelievable. No, it's very hard to do this, and we made it easier, a little bit easier through the class. And I appreciate you being here tonight. And if you got anyone who wants to sign up and be funny too, portlandcomedy.com.
That's correct.
Thank you. You too can do a lame New Jersey punchline. All right, coming to stage now, she's wonderful, and we have something in common because she actually works with elderly people, as I have done lately. She's just terrific. You're going to love her. Please welcome Grace Ashita, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, thank you. Hi, yes, I'm Grace, and I'm in my late 50s, and I've been single all my life. Yeah, well, okay, I was married for about 6 years to a gay man, so I've been single all my life. In fact, today, 27 years ago, we were on our honeymoon. Yes, me and my gay husband. Where do you think we went for our honeymoon? Any guesses? What? Did I hear San Francisco? Yes! Yeah, and I didn't catch on then. Yeah, I didn't know he was gay then. No, I didn't know for a really long time because I'm kind of slow. But even before I was married, and I was in my late 20s and still wasn't married, my mom was very, very worried about me. She's this little Japanese lady, and she was worried her daughter was going to be an old maid because back in the 80s, in your late 20s, that's old maid material. And I overheard her telling her little Japanese lady friends, I overheard her saying, "Oh, I'm so worried. Gracie, you know, she's getting older. She's almost 30. No marry. She no marry. I don't know she gonna marry because, you know, she won't do sexu. She's so square. She's so square. I don't know she not gonna do sexu. She not gonna marry." So one of my mom's friends was trying to help my mom out a little bit, and she said, "Oh, let me work on her." So she comes up to me and she points. She's very short. They all are. Points at me, right? And she touches my face. She says, "You know, if you have a sexu, it'll make your pimple go away. It'll clean up your face." So she's trying to appeal to my vanity like that would, you know, make me a little looser. But I don't know. Anyway, I mean, it's just really kind of funny because my mom, this is the very same woman that maybe 13, 14 years before that, she was giving me a whole different lecture. She was telling me, "Now, you in the high school, you no get pregnant because, oh no, shame, mama so much shame, mama have to move, mama have to kill herself." Yes, I graduated a virgin from high school. Now come back to my present day. Yes, late 50s, I'm dating. My mom's no longer with us, but if she was, she'd be a great dating coach, don't you think? Yeah. I know exactly how she'd be with her unfiltered, glorious opinions. She would be telling me, "Now, you don't go him. He want all your money. He's gonna take your money. You too nice. You give him money. No." Or maybe I'm sweeping through a dating app. She's looking over my shoulder and she's, "Oh, he's a good looking. Oh, that's a good looking man. Look, oh, is he gay?" Yeah, my mom's gaydar was better than mine. Well, I really still actually have a little help. I have a 101-year-old auntie. And she's kind of my dating coach in place of mom. She's always asking me when I go visit her, "Do you have a special friend? Do you have a special friend? I want you to have special friend." So No, Auntie, I no have a special friend, no. But the other day at dinner, I did tell her, you know what, Auntie? I went on a date. She didn't skip a beat. Really? With a man? Or a woman? Oh gosh, so yeah, she keeps me on my toes. But in all actuality, my dating coaches are my friends. And so I was asking my friend, I mean, these dating apps, this is like a new thing to me. Yeah, I'm slow. And she was telling me all about one of her stories. She did, you know, the dating app thing, the normal thing. You go to coffee, you meet for coffee, then you go to dinner, and then finally he invites her back to his place. So this is the first time she's going to his house. She goes in the house, she goes in the living room, and all of a sudden, all his dogs, they're jumping all over her, so she's kind of, you know, getting acquainted with the dogs, and she's looking around, and he disappeared. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, yeah, he pops back in. Buck naked? Buck naked? Yeah, she says, oh, no, this isn't happening. This isn't happening. And he's like, oh, no, I just wanted to show you my hip surgery scar. Yeah, see, this is what happens when you're in your 50s. You've got scars. But I'm telling you, I think it's a thing. I think it's a trend because the other day, I'm in my kitchen, I'm fixing food, we're gonna watch the game, and all of a sudden my friend comes in the kitchen, yanks down his pants. Look at my hip surgery scar. I'm like, what? No, I don't want to see your ass. What are you doing? No, it's healing really well. I'm really proud of it. So it's like this adult show and tell thing. I'm not sure because 3 days later, my date, he has to show me his knee surgery scar. And I'm like, you know what? Adult show and tell? I'm not playing. I'm not playing. And he tells me, no. I don't need to see your scars. I've seen them all. I've seen C-section, hysterectomies, appendectomies. I've seen them all. Like, oh gosh, okay, well, I'm glad I don't have to show you mine then. And, but I do actually have a gnarly scar. This is a new thing for me because last summer, I actually had surgery for ovarian cancer. I think it's really quiet. I know he's going, yeah, I know. But you know what? No, I have to stand here and tell you I'm actually a miracle standing in front of you because I'm completely cancer-free. That's a great thing. And you know what? That's the thing about ovarian cancer, though. You hear that, it's like, ooh, because usually it's not a good thing because they call it the silent killer. Because so many of the symptoms or the signs are just really nefarious. They can be explained away to a lot of different things. But one of the signs and symptoms is pain during sex. Or as my mother would say, pain during sexu. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, so how are you supposed to figure that one out when you're single like me? I mean, you know, and my surgeon, follow-up, she's always asking me about it. Every time she's asking me about it. I'm like, you know what, it seems like this is an important screening that I need to be doing. Is this medically necessary? Are you going to write me an order? And what's the frequency? Does it need to be annual? Semi-annual? What is this? Or do I get to choose the tester? Is there a copay? So yeah, screening for that. I just kind of figured that one out. But anyway, that's the thing. When you're in your 50s, we talk about a lot of medical stuff. It just happens. And that kind of becomes the bulk of conversation, and I figured it out. Conversation, 3 categories. Category number 1, what hurts? Your knees, your hips, your back. Category number 2, what's been fixed and what needs to be fixed. Again, your knees, your hips, your back. And maybe your eyes, right? And then the 3rd category, not my favorite, what's all plugged up? Your nasal passages, your arteries. Oh, and yes, your bowels. Yes, everybody talks about constipation. But I have to tell you that anytime I've had that conversation, it's not been me that brings up the constipation. It's always the guy. It's always the guy. They're just kind of fixated on that. I don't know why. Maybe they need a popper or two. backyard. You know, and you're going back to some other people. Nah, my ex-husband's name was John.
No.
And my mom would always get upset if I talked about John, because I had a John that was a boss, and then I had my ex, and oh no, you not talk about John. You not talk to John. He gonna sweet talk you. You go back. No, Mom. So I had to tell her there's bad John and boss John, and then good John. So we dated, but anyway, that's a whole other story. But I can see these younger faces. When I talk about all that, they're like, there's a little bit of fear, disdain. Oh my gosh, is this what's going to happen to me? Is this what's going to happen when you're in your 50s? All this stuff, and this is what you talk about. I just want to put your fears to rest. We're not dead. We're not dead. It's all good. We not so square. Okay? Yeah, we're not dead. We talk about death a lot, but we're not dead. Hey, Mom, look. My complexion's all clear now.
Grace Casita, ladies and gentlemen. Grace Casita. It's a really happy ending because Grace's ex-husband is now married to John's ex-wife. So let them figure it out. I don't know. You all right? Yeah. These are older people. My dad is 91, lives in Florida, which is the median age for Florida, actually. My father's in a nursing home. I called him on January 1st, and I said, Dad, did you do the countdown? You stay up to midnight? He goes, no, we all did a fake countdown at 9:01, and we were all in bed by 9:02. Whatever. 8:59. I got to do a better job with that joke. All right. I love that shirt. That is unbelievable. Stand up and show that shirt. That's the winner of the 2023 Bengal Tiger Festival. Very nice. I like it. Are you all fans of Nick's?
Yeah. What would you tell?
My husband's not here tonight. Watch me work. All right. I remember those days. Coming to the stage in our final act tonight, and I'm a big fan of Nick's. He's from Arkansas, and he can complete sentences. It's an amazing thing. I tried very hard to instill the fundamentals of comedy in Nick. I couldn't do it. And I absolutely learned early on in class, just let Nick be Nick. He has his own view of the world, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Please welcome Nick Dudley, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Dudley! Nick!
Oh, God.
Straight Nick. Straight Nick.
Straight Nick. No, I'm sorry, guys. We get gay Nick and I get mixed up sometimes. It happens a lot. Hang on, I've got a lot going. So this is like an intro class, right? So I started writing my part just a few minutes ago. So this is gonna give you an overview of how Carl helped us write his stuff.
No.
You're not playing this on me. Carl, I came up with a legal contract here. Are you ready? I remember this. It's the first page of my script. I, Carl Wolfson, give permission to Nick Dudley, or a proxy of his choosing.
I choose the other Nick.
Okay, that's how it goes. If you want other Nick to come up here, This isn't prescriptive. I give him consent to make a substance abuse joke about me. Do you agree to this? Do you sign?
Why the fuck not?
Alright, guys. Here we go. We can get started with this. But I need to set up. I didn't have time beforehand. I didn't have time beforehand. This is a class. Please don't look down on me. Got all this numbered and ready to go. Give it up for Carl, such a great MC. Oh, God. He's such a great comedian, too. He used to work with Mitzi Shore at the comedy club. That's totally Polly's mom. I know I love Encino Man. I can't imagine how much Carl loves it. And Biodome, too. Can we watch movies next time when we're in class? Why do we always have to do work? All right, guys, I'm switching to work mode for you real quick. I just got a job cooking grits in the gorge. I don't know if you guys can read this, but it says Susie. That's long for sous chef. You guys get it? You guys get it? That was kind of cheap laugh. This next note fell apart. I had to staple it back together. Look, I don't mind coming up here and spilling all the beans for you folks. I'll show you how the sausage is made.
Some of us already know.
Oh, but look, I don't do a lot of smoke and mirrors. Not the mirrors part. All right. Okay, we're in work mode. This is how it goes down in the kitchen. You're probably wondering, should I do these in order? I have so many, I just wrote them down. Okay, this one is number 4. Sorry for running behind. The Russians took all my money and left me with a hoarded foster home. And that's here in Southwest Portland. And that's here in Southwest Portland. Now, you might be wondering what I came across in this hoarded foster home that I purchased from these Russians. Hang on, let me see. Russian nesting dolls, fermented beets, and classified documents from the Trump administration. It's fine though. I just moved here from Arkansas, so we kind of have a similar situation. So I also moved in with my Russian nesting dolls, my fermented beets, and classified documents from the Clinton administration. Well, I guess I'll tell you guys about cooking grits in the gorge. I mean, that's how this all got started. And since I have a lot of jobs, that's kind of where I have to rehearse too. I just kind of rehearse in the kitchen. So I went to the wrong society hotel the other day. There's 2 of them actually. And I always get my places so mixed up. So mixed up. I always get my places so mixed up. This is true. 23andMe said I'm bad at directions, and I have mostly Neanderthal DNA. Well, it said like more than like 85% of other like people that take it. If you've taken it, just know that I'm ahead of you. So I went to the wrong Society Hotel. There's two of them. There's one in downtown Portland, and there's one way out in the gorge. And I'm bad at directions, so I just punched Society Hotel into Google Maps, and I showed up in downtown Portland at the Society Hotel with a woman having a full-blown ego death in front of the door. Guys, have y'all seen, did any of you happen to purchase mushrooms like downtown a few weeks ago? They were handing out, so when you buy it, they give it to you in a pink container. It's like weed, but pink. And that kind of describes mushrooms. So I looked. She had this pink container, and it said Jedi Mindfuck printed on the side. What do you think that does to your brain? Fuck. So I had to drive all the way out to the other Society Hotel in the fucking gorge. I was already an hour late for work. Dude, I could tell when I got to the right one though, because there were these topless women in the hot tub. And they're just holding their little pink containers of mushrooms, just tripping right there in the hotel. It was so much fun. Set and setting, that's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is, you know? Don't judge. Don't judge. I have a feeling that y'all kind of don't believe me about the classified documents. Isn't that be a weird fucking thing to make up? Like just invent a story about buying a Russian foster home in Southwest Portland? I feel like I have to show evidence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're gonna beg me, and Carl never begs me. But now I'm on stage, and he can't stop me. But it's fine, I got his consent, you guys all heard. You guys all heard. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have someone else make a joke about Carl, a proxy of my choosing. I think I'm gonna have other Nick come up here because you know I can't fucking take this. All right, so. Okay, I'll admit, I didn't get Nick's consent before.
Yes, you did.
Okay, all right, he's in. So I'm gonna have him do my joke about Carl while I read some classified documents. But first, do you know how to look straight? I'll help you. Make sure I make them good here. love this class so much. So, if you'll just look straight. He wears it so much better than I ever could. You look straight off the streets of Little Rock. Little Rock, Arkansas.
Where did I go wrong?
T-ball.
You can throw it down. It's so fun. It all stinks. So, before you read that joke, let me just read this document. Let me read this. Just like take it all in. Like I want you to be able to make it your own. Like he's in the intro class, so he hasn't seen this. But this is typically how we finish up the show. So this is a script written by Yevgeny Grebenchuk. It's called The Mind Sharpener. I'm pretty sure it's classified. It says, "Did you fix me a fresh ball of bullshit yet? Because tonight, I'm no ladybug, but a dung beetle." The crowd is supposed to laugh here. So this was written by a different. This wasn't by our class. Do you mind? I'm seeing if you can deliver the joke
As whole thing.
Oh, just do what you're comfortable with.
I don't think there's a license for that here.
So let's talk about Carl some more.
God, that's what this class is about.
Is this written in like verse? I'm pretty sure he's doing poppers with Elaine Poosler in the green room. That's how he rolls, seriously. Like, we do the comedy thing for a couple hours, but somehow we always end up doing poppers. Late until 5 a.m. And trying not to get fired from our day jobs. That's it.
Oh, you didn't. Okay, I thought you had a punchline. You have to come up with the punchline before you get to the end.
Okay.
Oh, I'll show you. No, it's fine. I'll show you how to get out of it. Just. No, you can take the apron. I don't need the apron. I don't need this. We're gonna see what happens. Straight guys do the most confusing bits. Yeah, I didn't finish this story about cooking grits. Yeah. Let's see. Oh hang on. So I kind of used that bit. I was gonna like kill time and like finish, like I was gonna like write the rest of the set like while you were doing that. But I kind of got hypnotized. I got sidetracked. Oh God, what time do we have to be home? 9:40. Oh no. Okay. All right. Well. No.
keep going.
Oh! What say you guys about my kids? Y'all know I have kids?
I believe they're in protective custody.
Different time to bring that up. Oh. No. I found my son's LinkedIn profile the other day. That's the widest way to find out you're old. No, he told me he's not going to college. He told me he's not going to college. He said he got a job as a trip sitter, working for some local company. He just said he's just one of these guys in the stream now, just kind of like, you know, helps you along on your trip. He's been working remotely though. You know, it's kind of one of those things where he wasn't ready to jump into it. He's finishing up high school, he's getting a job, and you know, so he kind of just thought this trip sitting thing could get him through, and he really wasn't thinking through these, you know, this commitment of time. Yeah, he said something fucked up. He's like, I don't even do anything. He's like, I just kind of like log on, and then just leave the stapler sitting right there on the space bar. Just walk away. God, that's a good idea, actually, now I think about it. Yeah, I got a stapler. I got 2 staplers. Shit. Yeah, I don't need to keep cooking grits on the gorge. What do we have? Oh God, we don't have too much left. We're almost done with the show. Oh, I haven't told you all about Little Rock. You know, Bill Hicks died of cancer in Little Rock. I can't imagine a fate worse than being entombed in the Bible Belt. Oh. You guys all came here for the same purpose, right? You wanted to hear me say something fucked up. You didn't want me to stand up here and say something something wholesome. Not something you'd find at the library. Like drag person story time. I said drag person story time. I wanted to make sure that I was being very inclusive. Because I would hate to exclude any drag kings that might want to read to my children. Because I welcome anyone, in or out of drag, to read my children non-biblical literature. Youth pastors need not apply. So, almost said something fucked up. God, I came so close. Yeah, that wasn't really a classified document. It was just like some sort of weird script about shitting on stage. Oh, I'm so tempted to pick it back up, but just know the stories are so good. Oh, those shit stories are so good. But I'm not. Carl didn't teach us to read from a script. He told us how to tie our acts and get them so tidy here at the end. He told me to go ahead and just tell those nasty shit stories. I can't even telling in class. He said tell them all. He said they all want to see them. In fact, before I came out here, he said, you know, this is going to be on YouTube late at night. He's like, you can do anything. You can say anything you want, no matter how fucked up. He's like, but if you show your ass, make sure to take some poppers first. Well, Carl, here goes the shit story. And when you told me not to do 1 hour ago in the break room, He saw me fall off a stool rehearsing this. Oh gosh. Like he saw that shit. All right, so we're doing a little memory technique called the Memory Palace here. So I'm gonna show you guys. He notices it. Don't leave the club, Carl. This is true.
I'm just pacing.
This is true.
Watching my life flash.
He gets up and leaves every time I do the story. Every time I do the story, he leaves class. Comes back with the Lane Boozler next week. So it's a whirlwind. So I'm at this club in the Ozarks. God damn, this club in the Ozarks. And like, so this is a good thing. So just imagine you guys are all looking in the door. You're all in a club in the Ozarks. I'm sorry, this is how it works. You're in my mind now. So, imagine you need to go to the bathroom. Imagine you're gonna walk in right here. This poor little club. It was 3 stories and all the bathrooms were designed the same way, so just imagine the story times 3 and it's so much funnier. It's 3 times funnier. So, there's a little sink. There's a little sink right when you come in. One little sink. 2 urinals. 2 urinals. 1 toilet right here. You tell I was thinking of my grandma? Did you tell that? Never mind. I didn't know if you made eye contact. That's all right. That kind of was. Yeah, so there's 2 urinals, 1 toilet. And of course I get to the bathroom and there's like 5 guys in there just pissing away. No respect for anyone. It has to shit in the club. So anyway, this guy gets up. He gets up and leaves, and so then I'm waiting outside. I get to come in. So, okay, Carl told me I can't face my back to the crowd. This is gonna be weird. I don't know how to get out of this. So, to get to the toilet, I kind of had to like do this like Soul Train line thing. The bathroom is only 6 feet wide, by the way. I just did a Soul Train. I just slapped their asses, spun them around. It was like the Bellagio with 2-day-old Bud Light and fermented asparagus. Oh, it smelled bizarre. And God, it's so weird, this memory palace. I told Carl I wouldn't befoul the stage, so I won't even tell you what was going on back here. But I won't even. God, this is the only way I can ever get out of this. So, whenever you go to the bathroom, normally there's not like 4 dudes like doing a Bellagio piss fountain. There's normally toilet paper right here. And if you just have one piece of toilet paper in the club when you have to go, I got a cool little technique I learned in Boy Scouts. You have to be prepared for this. They don't just teach you fucked up shit in Boy Scouts. This is very practical. They teach you origami. First, you fold the paper in half. This helps if you have notes just like scattered all around the bathroom. You fold the paper in half again, and you tear this little corner off here. And now, if you find yourself in the club, with no toilet paper, you can just kind of reach in and get the job done. And then you just kind of scrape it off and throw it away. And if you have this piece, you can get your fingernail. You can get that all cleaned off. But my problem was I didn't have any of this stuff with me. I just had the toilet, and I had to make do. It was just like the whole room was just staring at me. And I didn't have any other choice because I didn't have any other. All right. So just imagine like this is my ass. This is my ass. Like, and this is my asshole. But imagine I shaved and took poppers first. If you imagine that this is a toilet, and you can just imagine I was just real quick, just. Yes. And then you just run away.
Oh, thanks. Nick Dudley, ladies and gentlemen. Well, my credentials have just been revoked.
We'll be talking.
Yeah. Keep it going for Nick. He's in his own world. Tabula rasa. It's free. The first thing I tell my students, do a nice, crisp, tight set. And yeah. Okay. No, Nick is. Let's play fill in the blank, shall we? No, Nick's really, really wonderful and creative, and I just would like to have everyone who performed just stand over there and take a round of applause tonight. Come on, everybody. Aiden Diskin. Yeah, just come on up for a second. Mark Creel, Aiden Diskin, Idris Wahed, Na Wen, Grace Ashita, John Burton, and Alice Carrier. Give them a round of applause. Oh, and Nick. We don't have time for a Q&A tonight because someone went over, but no. I would like to just say what a pleasure it's been to teach both classes. It's an amazing experience for me as well, I hope for everyone here. And what we like to do is create a very safe space for all the students to tell their truth. And everyone did that tonight. Some truth is exaggerated. No, and it really is it's a little bit of therapy, a little bit of, it's a lot of therapy, right? It's a lot of therapy, but it's, I ask each potential comic, now comics, to tell their truth, tell their story, and nothing is better than putting laughter in the world, and to learn how to do it, and to have the bravery to go on stage and put it out there. One more time for everyone. I've known, yes. Yeah, oh, okay. Oh, just before we do Grace, I just want to tell you that I know a lot of funny people. Some of the funniest people I know would not even dare to go on stage and do it professionally. So it's just an amazing thing to be able to do that. And yes, I used to babysit Pauly Shore. That's how old I am. All the comics did it at the Comedy Store. But if you're interested in doing a class and becoming not one, I always tell people, don't be the next Richard Pryor. I want to be the next Robin Williams. No, be the first you. That's what I want of my students. I want you to be the first you. And everyone you saw up here tonight has started being them for the public in a real important way to tell, I never had role models being gay growing up. I didn't. And everyone here is telling a truth and has a point of view that the world needs to see, I think. And in a funny way, it connects us all. So if you're interested, it's portlandcomedy.com. And yeah, portlandcomedy.com. And you told me last night if you do comedyportland.com, it'll also get you there.
Because we're smart, we bought that too.
Yeah, good. So portlandcomedy.com. If you know anyone who's interested in taking these classes, believe me, I just love teaching, and my husband just loves when I come home because I'm excited about it, seeing all these students blossom and bloom. Grace, do you want the mic for something? I don't know. Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So because when we did our intro class last
Yes.
semester, so to
Yeah.
speak, we weren't quite organized. But
Really, unlike tonight.
right. Anyway, we just, as a class from the first class and also this class, intermediate class, we just wanted to give you this. These are pictures of our class.
Oh, how nice.
And yes, we want to say thank you. We
And
also-
these are actually from that bathroom in Little Rock.
Yes.
It's amazing. Look at that. Did you see that? Yes. Look, you know what everyone's doing with their hands?
But you know, Carl, I carry my own cottonelle, so I'm never going to have that problem.
Oh, this is great.
Anyway,
Oh, I love it.
well, it's just,
I'm even taking the cat's picture down.
there you go, there you go. So,
No pussy in my house.
anyway, we wanted to, as a group,
Thank you
say
so
thank
much.
you, and we missed it last year, or last year, and we wanted to do it
Thank you
here.
very much. I
You
appreciate
talk about how you want us to be out there and that this really gets us out and being more of you or us. And I have to say that it really has helped me, and I've spoken to others, it really helps us be more us in our real life. I'm even more of me when I'm alone in my house, which is scary, but it's really, oh.
No, go ahead.
My mom would say, let me finish. Let me finish.
It's hard for me.
I know. It's okay. Anyway, we've learned a lot, and I'm getting finished. Oh, I don't even, see, I've learned way too much. I've learned way too much in this class, and I was even married to a gay man.
Get a hold of it, it's hard to finish.
I know. Okay, I'll be done. We just want to say thank
Well, I
you.
really appreciate it.
And thank you to Comedy Sports. It's been a thrill.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I love all you guys, and thank you for coming and supporting them. This means the world to me, and I hope to keep getting more pictures from more comics who are all going to go on to great things, thanks to Comedy Sports, PortlandComedy.com. Yes.
How can people, if they're tied to me and
If they're tied to you?
technically challenged, how do you find what we saw tonight?
Oh,
Is there
okay.
an easy, like, is
It'll
it just,
come out.
don't say correct, that's a question, Patrick, he can't say
Correct.
correct.
It'll be on YouTube, and when we're done here, we'll know the link, and I will send it to all of you, and you can send it
Okay.
to all of your fans around the world.
Yes.
So it won't be public unless the students decide to send it.
Oh, it was public tonight.
Right.
Whoops.
Fuck. All right.
I'm still sending my YouTube. One other thing I almost forgot, that's what happens when old people get up here. We want to say happy birthday to Carl. It's his birthday Tuesday, and
Tuesday,
Kim
yeah.
has, we have a little gift for you.
Jeez, oh, stop.
I know.
Turning 49 is so hard. It's like, I'm on the precipice of a big one. Thank you, Kim. Kim Upham took my class and did fabulously in her showcase in the fall quarter. And she's also the den mother. She's the unofficial den mother of our class and does wonderful things. Thank you for this. I really love you all, and I'm proud of every one of you. Thanks for coming. I'm proud of you for supporting them. Thank you. Thank you, and good night.